Well, hello, you gorgeous mother truckers, you. Welcome to another video. This one's in the house, on the house computer. So I have no camera, believe it or not, in here, because there's no need for one. Any case, remember I did a video explaining that the new Indian deal was going to be a really bad thing, and it was really going to affect British workers and British companies, and all the shills and all the Labour Party people came out and called everybody who said that an idiot. You didn't know what you're talking about. It was ridiculous. All madness, all stupidity. Oh, it's not as bad as you think it is. Well, you see, it kind of is, isn't it? So, Britain's trade deal with India to cost UK £200 million a year, a bombshell Treasury analysis admits. This is on GB News. Sir Keir Starmer was forced to reject the concessions on national insurance contributions constitutes a two-tier tax system, which of course it actually is. Sir Keir Starmer's trade deal with India could cost up to £200 million a year in lost taxes, the internal Treasury analysis has revealed. The document, produced under the previous Tory government, which is why they didn't get this deal across the line, it's because they didn't want to do this, but of course illustrious dictator thinks it's a great deal, so he doesn't care about these things, but just let it goes. Noted how the Prime Minister's concession on national insurance contribution brings with it significant costs to the UK's tax bill. That wasn't really hard to figure out now, was it? Earlier this week, Number 10 announced that the UK struck a bespoke trading arrangement with India, resulting in a dramatic reduction on levies imposed on Scotch whisky and car exports. Bravo. However, sources told the Times that the impact assessment found that the 3-year national insurance exemption could wipe £200 million off the Exchequer's book each year. Now, the best thing is with this, we ran the numbers and it came back to £200 million a year, a Treasury source said. At the time, the total benefits of the deal was only 1 to 2 billion in GDP growth by 2035. And there was nothing on the financial services, so it didn't seem worth doing. Insiders have also learned that the analysis only accounted for the 20,000 Indian workers who currently come to Britain under the intra-company transfer each year and did not take into account a spike of arrivals following the deal. You mean like we all were trying to explain to people, but of course we were wrong. Despite concerns about the national insurance concessions, the Prime Minister hailed the UK's deal with India as a landmark accord. It really isn't, is it? In a fiery clash with Kemi Badenoch at Prime Minister's Question Times yesterday, Starmer said the deal with India is a huge win for the working people in this country. It is just like everything else. He is the meme. He is that dog sitting in a burning building saying this is fine. As long as he keeps telling himself it's going to work, it's going to work. He added, it's the biggest trade deal since the UK has delivered since we left the EU. Tory Reform UK and Liberal Democrat MPs united to pile pressure on the PM over his deal. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage said the government doesn't give a damn about the working people, and it really doesn't. It'll blame it for everything, tax it to oblivion so we can pay for everybody else and their shall we say, dictatorship. The Labour Party have this time in a big way betrayed working Britain, and that's why many people voted for us last Thursday, but for some reason the government just doesn't seem to understand. Oh no, it really does understand. It understands what it wants and not what everybody else wants, and be damned to the rest of it. Liberal Democrat Deputy Leader Daisy Cooper added, the deal risks undercutting British workers at a time when they're already hammered by Trump's trade war, which apparently has all been done now. And also, to be fair, the Trump's trade war had absolutely nothing or any impact on workers yet. And Labour's misguided jobs tax. Badenoch, who previously served as British Secretary, joined in the row. She warned, when Labour negotiates, Britain loses. And with the Trump deal, it looks like that's also going to be a true thing. However, New Delhi officials later accused Badenoch of agreeing to the same national insurance concessions during previous negotiations. Really? The Tories offered us 2 years at the time, but we said it wasn't enough. So it wasn't the same thing then, was it? They put it on the table. We wanted more than 3. But the principle have already been conceded in return for some gives on our side on services. Flatly denying the suggestion, Badnock's spokesman said the Indians put it onto the table and Kemi said no, hence why we didn't sell it in the deal. Kemi's first principle with trade deals was that there should be goods and services and nothing on immigration beyond very short, time-limited business mobility visas. However, Starmer's also defending the national insurance concessions, highlighting the UK already has a similar arrangement with 50 other countries. Yeah, but not 3 years. He told the MPs if the Leader of the Opposition is seriously suggesting they're going to tear up agreements with 50 other countries, creating a massive hole in our economy, should just get up and say so. Well, of course, you would want that, wouldn't you? Trade Secretary Jonathan Reynolds also discussed speculation the trade deal would have an impact on immigration flows. He said, there's no impact from this on changes to immigration. How would you know? Or the numbers that have come to the UK as part of it. Again, you're surmising. Just the misunderstanding of Conservative Reform politician and how these deals work. No, because you've done that, you've opened the floodgates. But of course, you're going to keep telling yourselves everything is fine. Professor Brian Bell, chairman of the Migration Advisory Committee, has also claimed trade deals are unlikely to lead to an increase in migration. Professor Bell said IT workers tend to come and go a bit, but there's more fluidity on those based on a skilled work visa. The trade deal removes the reduced tariffs on 92% of UK goods exports to India, with levies placed on Scottish whisky being slashed from 150% to 40%. Oh, so it's okay when India slaps massive tariffs on goods from here, but when America does it, it's all wrong. Funny that. See, UK firms will also be granted access to around 40,000 Indian procurement contracts with at least a value of £38 billion a year. Despite Starmer facing huge criticism for his accord, veteran Brexiteer Lord Hannon hailed the trade deal with India. He said it was only the 16th FTA India has ever signed. It's vastly more ambitious than the previous 15 because it gives them more than it does us. We're now closely investing in one each other's success. Not really. Given that India is the 4th largest economy in the world and is likely to overtake Germany to become 3rd, this matters. Really. Explicit opportunity Mr. Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg added, cheaper food and drink including rice and tea, footwear, clothes, thanks to the welcoming trade deal, exactly what Brexit promised. Except of course it isn't, is it? It's all about trying to blow smoke up people's arses to pretend that this is a real good deal. It's going to get abused. It's going to get overused. Indian companies now have a massive advantage where British companies don't. British workers are at a disadvantage compared to Indian workers. India gains more from this than we do, and it's going to cost us more. So, how's that going to benefit anything? Remembering that this $5 billion that they talked about into the economy is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Remember that we spend £165 billion a year on the NHS. Remember that £5 billion is just a third of the money that this Labour government's given to the Ukraine. You see, it doesn't matter how you try and spin this, everybody with a brain can see that this is a bad deal for Britain. And it's only going to get worse because while I'm recording this, we've just heard that Trump has announced the deal, and it looks like Starmer's managed to sell somebody else down the river. But I'll do that in another video. Any case, 2 videos coming up at the end of this one. One will be the last one I uploaded, the other one will be the one that the gods of YouTube with their mighty algorithm have picked for you. It's called The Chosen One. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe if you agree to what I'm saying or like what I'm doing. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. There's a comment section down below for you to use. I don't moderate it, I don't delete anything unless you're a stick or brick user, so feel free. You may find that if the video is doing well and it's on a subject that they don't want to listen to, comments get deleted. I can guarantee you, swearing on my children's lives, unless you're a stick or brick user, I don't delete anyone's comments. Any case, ways to support the channel down below. Don't forget, there is also a little merch shop which I'm slowly building up. You can pop on over there. Again, the link's down below. So now I'm done. So, until the next one.
Maybe it's an arrow at the bottom.